My name is Sergeant Tracy Eldridge, and I have the honor of being the Basic Training Supervisor at the St. Louis County and Municipal Police Academy. I would like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for our Police Basic Training Class 203. Please rise for the presentation of colors by the St. Louis County Honor Guard and the playing of the national anthem. Afterwards, please remain standing for the invocation.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming in their rocket glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Let us bow our heads. God of courage and strength, we gather here this evening with these fine men and women who have achieved a great milestone as they graduate from the Police Academy. They stand on the threshold of embarking upon a career marked by professionalism, service, and personal sacrifice. As we prepare to usher them to begin their career in law enforcement, we ask your blessings upon them, knowing that every day they will face people who are grateful for their help, and even a few people who would rather not encounter them, knowing that they are likely to face difficult situations, where it is hard to tell who did what or who said what, knowing that they will have to run into danger when others run away, knowing they will deal with a lot of unknowns as they search homes and buildings to make sure that there are no unwanted suspects, or as they enforce the laws of our country. We pray that they will always know your divine presence. When faced with the innocent victim, please give them compassion. When faced with confusion or uncertainty, give them wisdom. When faced with danger or fear, give them courage. When faced with chaotic situations, give them peace so they can keep the peace. These men and women, Lord, are brave and generous as they give themselves over to the police profession. So we ask for your watchful protection and your loving presence to them so that they feel that they are never alone and never far from you. Watch over their families and loved ones as well. Reassure them as they support their loved ones in their sacred duties of protecting and serving your children. These blessings we ask in your holy name. Everyone say amen.
Audience, you may be seated. On behalf of the Academy staff and the officers of Class 204, I would like to welcome our distinguished platform party, commanding officers, honored guests, family, and friends. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the members of our platform party. If you would, please hold your applause until all the members have been introduced. At this time, I ask that each platform member please stand and remain standing as they are introduced. Beginning on my right, I would like to introduce Colonel Kenneth Gregory, Chief of the St. Louis County Police Department and member of the Academy Board of Managers. Deputy Chief Brian Ludwig of the St. Louis County Police Department. Police Commissioner Thomasina Hassler, Chairman of the St. Louis County Board of Police Commissioners and Chairperson of the Academy Board of Managers. Colonel Gregory Moore, Chief of the Bowling Acres Police Department and member of the Academy Board of Managers. Executive Director Carl Becker of the St. Louis County Police Department, Division of Human Resources, and Secretary of the Academy Board of Managers. Captain Jerry Kelly, Director of the St. Louis County and Municipal Police Academy. Police Officer Daniel Bierman of the Florissant Police Department and Class Supervisor for Class 204. Byron Watson of the St. Louis County Police Department Chaplains Program. At each graduation, a recruit is chosen to speak on behalf of the class. I would like to introduce Police Officer Brandon Lightfoot of the St. Louis County Police Department, who has been selected to express his thoughts of Class 204.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here tonight to celebrate the graduation of Class 204. If I was asked to write this paper 6 months ago, it would have been filled with phrases such as, "I've got this," "How hard could it be?" "Amazing friends." However, easy is the last word I would use to describe my experience in this academy. There have been long hours trying to stay awake during constitutional law, staying ready for an alert tone during local traffic law and patrol, and remembering the right folder for report writing, or being trivial enough for statutory law. Oh, and preserving enough energy for the end-of-day PT session. After enduring a 6-week-long Illinois Correctional Academy, I figured I could handle a 6-month-long police academy with ease. I could not have been more wrong. After entering the parking lot at 6:50 a.m. on the morning of January 3rd, 2022, with the hopes of leaving by 3 or 4 p.m. that evening, I had no idea the reality check that I was in for. After a day that seemed like a lifetime, I arrived at my home in Pontoon Beach, Illinois at 8:15 p.m., completely and utterly defeated. turned to my girlfriend, who was worried sick about me, and dropped my backpack and began to sob. I held her and she held me while I questioned my dream and my future as a police officer. I wondered if I was made for this or even strong enough to endure day 2 of this academy. I struggled with this of being the idea of something that I really even wanted. I questioned my whole future. However, with words of encouragement from her and my family, I pressed on. Day after day was a new challenge, not only physically but mentally. I never knew just how far I could be pushed or how mentally strained I could be until this academy. I remember every PT session like the back of my hand, chasing the clock just to be done. Every hour of constitutional law seemed like a lifetime. Never really knowing if Officer Shear was mad or just tired from the night before. Always anxiously awaiting the next mental stimulation we would receive from our instructors every day wrong. However, every practice PT test I endured was not training enough for the day we were OC. I remember quite vividly the feeling of drowning myself with water, trying to remove the chemical agent off my face. Standing there, eyes burning, and my nose running, I again questioned if I was strong enough for this career. Hearing the voices of my classmates and my instructors encouraging me to press on made it all worth it. The battles and defensive tactics taught us to treat every training session like a situation out on the street. The massive adrenaline rush came the day we boxed one another. I was pitted against my good friend Calhoun. Neither of us wanted to fight the other, so we swore for the next 5 minutes we're all business and we duked it out like Rocky and Drago. Immediately following that, we were right back to being buddies. The range was another series of moments that pushed me to my absolute limits, from anxiously awaiting to be called to the front to explain phase 2 malfunction, to showing the class how to make a shotgun car carry ready. The range was a tough time, but also a time where I learned a tremendous amount about how real this career can be and the challenges it can provide. Every tear, drop of sweat, and doubt has been worth it. I've learned more about myself in the past 6 months than I ever have in the past 27 years of my life, and I owe that to this academy. I've learned how far my body and my mind can be pushed. I've learned that the ones left surrounding me during these hellish last few weeks are all the same people I would without a doubt take a punch for, jump in front of a bullet for, and risk my life for. We lost a lot of people along the way, from the crazy COVID-19 virus to being out of shape, breaking an arm and unable to continue academics. However, those people pushed us further without them even knowing it. They were crucial to our success and our inability to give up. The inspirational speeches from Officer Byron, Officer Coletti, and Officer Moore have all been pivotal to each and every one of us as recruits, along with the annihilating workouts Officer Andrew put us through. Overall, this academy has taught me that being a police officer isn't one what you see on TV or reading books. Each and every police officer is someone's son or daughter trying to make a difference in this world, just like me. But still 4, it's been real, it's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. If I was asked to do this all over again, I'd say absolutely. As long as I had all of you by my side, I will never forget each and every memory made with this crazy group. Starting as total strangers, coming together as good friends, and wrapping it all up as brothers and sisters in arms. Stay tight. Recruit Class 204 is dedicated to the memory of David Dorn. He was a St. Louis Metropolitan Captain and a Colonel from the Lean Acres Police Department. David Dorn was a captain of the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department, working there from November 1969 to October 2007. After his retirement, his life serving the public wasn't quite over. He then became the Chief of Police from Lean Acres in 2008. He was highly respected and dedicated to the office. He retired from the Moline Acres Police Department in 2014. In the early hours of June 2nd, 2020, David Dorn, then 77 years of age, checked on a friend's business where the burglar alarms had been activated. During his check of the business, he found an active burglary was in progress. David Dorn was fatally shot by a looter after interrupting their pursuit burglary in progress. Captain Dorn was the father of 5 children as well as the grandfather of 10 grandchildren. Captain Dorn's family fondly remembers that he was passionate about mentoring young people and trying to get them on a positive pathway. His family believed their father would have forgiven those behind the violence and would have attempted to meet and talk to them in order to peacefully resolve their grievances. Captain Dorn was a perfect example of a dedicated police officer who spent his adult life working in this noble profession. He selflessly and loyally protected and served the St. Louis area and made the ultimate sacrifice while doing so. St. Louis County Municipal Police Academy's recruit class 204 is hereby dedicated in honor of the commitment to duty and legacy of David Dorn. May we always remember his sacrifice and celebrate his life of service to St. Louis communities.
Thank you, Officer Lightfoot. At this time, I will turn the podium over to Captain Jerry Kelly, Director of the St. Louis County and Municipal Police Academy, who will give the Director's report for the Academy.
Good evening, and welcome to all the family and friends here tonight, as well as to many distinguished guests attending the graduation ceremony for Recruit Class 204. I would also like to extend a special welcome to the family of retired police captain David Dorn. Recruit Class 204 is dedicated in the memory of Captain Dorn. We appreciate you allowing us to honor him in a small and special way. Thank you for attending the graduation ceremony for Class 204. Besides the very supportive board of managers we have at the Academy, I would like to introduce the real strength of the St. Louis County Municipal Police Academy. A learning institution is only as good as its instructors and support staff makes it. It's my biased opinion, but I feel we have some of the best instructors and the best support staff in the region. At this time, I would like to introduce Sergeant Tracy Eldridge, Basic Training Supervisor of the St. Louis County Municipal Police Academy, St. Louis County Police Department. Sergeant Christopher Thompson, Continuing Education Supervisor, St. Louis County Police Department. Officer Dan Bierman of the Florissant Police Department and Class Supervisor for Recruit Class 204. Officer Michael Moore, the St. Louis County Police Department and Assistant Class Supervisor for Recruit Class 204. Officer Amy Andrew, St. Louis County Police Department. Officer Michael Coletti of the St. Louis County Police Department. Officer Marshall Lee, St. Louis County Police Department. Officer Todd Shearer, Clayton Police Department. Officer Jeff Barnes, St. Louis County Police Department. Officer Joseph Craig, St. Louis County Police Department. Mr. Michael Fagan, retired Assistant U.S. Attorney, and Mrs. Demetria Butler, Basic Recruit Training Coordinator. The professional lives of these 25 recruits begin tonight when they receive their certificates and become police officers. After successfully completing 25 long weeks of academy training, the foundation has been set. Probably one of the more important things they've learned during their training is effective police officers of the 21st century have to be more than a protector of rights and of life. They've learned the most effective police officers are those who have a strong moral character and unquestionable integrity. The most effective police officer is compassionate, empathetic, shows tolerance, and when needed, a sense of resilience. They've learned these are all traits needed to be devoted to community service and promote positive change. Class 204, be proud of your accomplishment. You've earned your way into a noble profession. Do not lose sight of the fact you are the example of a profession filled with honor, duty, and integrity. Congratulations to you all. Stay safe, and God bless. At this time, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Colonel Kenneth Gregory, Chief of the St. Louis County Police Department. Colonel Gregory has devoted his entire professional career to public service. Prior to becoming a police officer, Colonel Gregory was an educator at Northview Elementary and Jennings School District for 5 years. Colonel Gregory began his law enforcement career with the St. Louis County Police Department on December 2nd, 1979, and has served the department for 42 years. He has worked in or has been a leader in every division of the St. Louis County Police Department, including Director of the St. Louis County Municipal Police Academy, Commanding Officer of the Division of Criminal Investigation, Division of Patrol, Division of Special Operations. Currently, Colonel Gregory serves in various capacities for the County Police Department, to include law enforcement officials of Greater St. Louis, associate member of the St. Louis Area Police Chiefs Association, member of the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives, the International Association of Chiefs of Police, and he is also a graduate of the 218th session of the FBI National Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Kenneth Gregory.
You know, it's a shame when your bio is going to be longer than your speech. And before I got up there, I was mentioned to you in the back that there's an NBA game on tonight. So the guys told me to remind, to keep that in mind. After Rachel showed up, she said there was an NBA game on tonight, so make sure I get her home on time, okay? So I'm going to give it my best shot. I'm just not to keep you long. I've been out there before, and I've heard speeches, so, and to the doing, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Well, just a few things I do want to mention to you, lead with the recruits and the families. And I want to say a little bit about family and friend support. And I want to mention two aspects of the 21st century policing. I want to welcome the families and friends for being here in front of these honorable and well-deserved recruits for graduating tonight. The support that you're giving them now is the support that they're going to need for the rest of their careers. I guarantee you that. Families and friends, I urge you to keep in touch with your law enforcement loved ones. Allow them to vent when they need to vent. Allow them solace when they need to solace when they need it. Listen to the things they experience during their work days and work nights. We get together and we talk about them. We call them war stories. Some of them can be funny. Some can be more serious and very involved. Allow them to cry when there's need to do so. There may be a time when, to share a tear. Strong family connections help us a great deal in this profession. Recruits, keep your friends close to you. Go out and share and have good times with them. And I'm not really talking about your police friends. Keep your other friends in mind also. Because when you go out with each other, all you do is talk about police work. And at some point, you need to get away from that for a while. But I know it's going to be difficult because this is new to you. You're very excited about what you do, and that's part of all that you want to do is talk police work. But keep that in mind. Keep your friends in hand. Choosing this profession is not an easy one. You have seen the type of support needed thus far getting to this point. And yes, it has been a journey. From the extensive months of the hiring process to the transformative academy training, the field training that is about to start, that will push you and test you to your limits. And then lastly, developing the will to know how to become an effective police officer. Family and friends, your loved ones didn't get this far without you. Please keep that supportive connection. And now I said the will and know how to become an effective police officer. What is that? What is effective policing? You are more than just a uniform and a badge. You are individuals stepping out into the communities to protect and serve our citizens and communities. But it's no longer about protecting, it's about knowing how to protect and serve effectively. In 2015, President Barack Obama formed a committee to develop a guide for the 21st century policing strategies. Strategies that were geared toward effective policing. The 21st century guide was developed after the Michael Brown shooting in the city of Ferguson in 2014. There were thoughts that policing throughout the nation needed to develop policing methods and operations focusing on 6 pillars of the policing for all agencies. 1, building trust and legitimacy. 2, policing oversight. 3, technology and social media. 4, community policing, crime reduction. 5, training and education. And 6, officer wellness and safety. They're all honorable and measured equally, but there are 2 that I want to touch on tonight. Officer safety and wellness, and community policing and crime reduction. The utmost important thing as police agencies is for the wellness and safety of our officers. This is mutual amongst all within the police profession. We provide you with all the proper training. We give you nutritional and physical guidance. We get you uniforms and badges to properly identify yourself as law enforcement officers, weapons to protect yourselves and our citizens, protective gear for hazardous situations, well-equipped vehicles, and whatever else is needed to keep you physically safe. Your physical well-being and safety will always be our priority. But what about your mental wellness? To be an effective officer in this world, your mental wellness must not be overlooked or ignored. You have taken on a role that the average person would and could not consider. Our profession is not a job, it's a calling that we strive to be successful at. A role that speaks to who you are as a person and will challenge you in your mental drive. A role that will transform not only your lives, but the lives of others. You will witness moments and sights that are unimaginable. You will be put in tense situations where you have to make tough and immediate decisions. You will experience highs and lows along with the mental, emotional drain that could happen. Despite it all, you will experience one of the most rewarding and transformative careers of your life. You have been called to stand up for society in one of the most selfless ways possible, contributing to the forward movement and greater good of our communities and society. I did mention selfless ways for police officers. Let me just say this. There are many people out there who love and respect what you do. We see it all the time. They will do and say things to you that will make you proud and feel great about the career that you have chosen. They need you, and they are very, very grateful for what you do. Your mental wellness is one of our priorities. We know what you go through, how it can affect you. Your mental wellness should be your priority. Don't try to fight off the stress alone. Seek help from your employer, from your family, and from your co-workers, who may sense a change and recommend that you seek assistance. St. Louis County Police Department calls that a active bystander leadership for law enforcement. It is simply intervention. Don't be afraid to intervene in an effort to help a co-worker out of a situation that may result in an undesirable outcome. We are living in a time where we understand work and life balance go hand in hand. If your work life is not going well, your home life can suffer. If your home life is not going well, your work life can suffer. So let's balance those things together. Your agency has made a promise concerning themselves with your wellness. Make that promise to yourselves as well. You will face adversity within your career. We fought through and continue to fight through a pandemic when our profession could not shut down. You will read bad press about police officers based on the mistakes of a few. You will hear about defunding the police. Don't let those things shut you down. It's times like those when you should seek the help from your loved ones, your agency, and your fellow officers. Your support is here with you this very moment. Always realize that there is always someone out there who has your six. Community policing. Community policing requires cooperation amongst police, citizens, local decision makers in order to forge effective partnerships that combat criminal activity. We need to forge those relationships with our citizens in our efforts to form unions to support one another for the greater good. Equal and just outcomes for all parties, and I'll repeat that, for all parties involved must occur for positive relationships between police and community. When we speak of diversity, it is not the diversity of skin color. It is the diversity of thought. Make sure that every day you put that uniform on, that all, I'll repeat that again, that all of your citizens are getting the best of your services. These positive relationships in all aspects help in our efforts to fight crime. I know you will be challenged in establishing these relationships, but it needs to be done. You see, our citizens expect so much from us. We're no longer just crime fighters. You're looked upon as a therapist. Where's Naomi? Where are you? You out there? Naomi, did you take psychology at the academy? No, you probably didn't, did you? Thanks for what they expect that of you. You're looked upon as mental wellness workers. You're looked upon as the mediators. You're looked upon as the initial trauma resolver. You're looked upon as the peacekeeper, the de-escalator. You're even looked upon as the lawyer. Alejandro, where are you at? Did they tell you that you had to go to bar school after the academy? No, they didn't. They probably didn't. But they still look for you to be a lawyer out there. You are whoever is needed at that moment to secure the wellness of the individuals, community, yourself, and the law. It's going to be tough, but you can't stray away from it. You know why? Because you took an oath to respond, to help and protect and serve by being any one of those things that I just mentioned to you. And yes, I did say crime fighter, because with all those other expectations, we still have to go out on a daily basis and help our communities by removing the criminal element from our streets and our neighborhoods. I believe that you wanted to be police officers because you wanted to help people, and that's why you chose this profession. I know when I became a policeman, it was because I wanted to help people. And 42 years later, I'm still that officer who wants to help people. Now, in between, I had an opportunity to fight crime, just as you will. I locked up burglars, I locked up thieves, I locked up drunk drivers, I locked up drug dealers, and believe it or not, I even had a handful of use of forces. Maybe 2 handfuls of use of forces. So yes, crime fighting for the help of your citizens is what you said you wanted to do. I don't believe that any community wants fewer officers in their communities. Our communities and citizens want well-trained officers. They want compassionate officers. They want understanding officers. They want trusting and responsible officers. And they want officers that show empathy. We are a different breed. We have to be able to make adjustments in our duties and in our mindset to be all those things that our communities want us to be. As chiefs, those are the officers that we want on our department. Those are the types of officers that are going to build positive relationships with our communities. Good police-community relationships are imperative for developing trust between police and citizens. Without trust and transparency with our citizens, police work becomes less effective and makes our job harder. So I ask, are you ready to be all of those things? I meant for your community, for your police, and for your department, for your loved ones, and for yourself. You're here tonight after successfully making it through a trying and evolving time in your life. By saying yes to this call, by saying yes to this oath, by saying yes to your agency, and by saying yes to the communities that you serve. Let me just say this, police work has gotten to be more difficult. And I'll just be upfront with you, police work has gotten to be more dangerous. People are leaving the police profession for a number of reasons. Leaving the agency short-handed on manpower, with recruiting being very difficult. And that is happening nationwide. But the 25 of you, the decided that she wanted to step into this profession, taking up some of the slack in the agencies represented here tonight. All of the chiefs that are here tonight, the veteran officers that are here, and the family members are proud of the fact that you chose to serve and protect the citizens of our communities. We welcome you as our brothers and sisters. I've always said that the police profession and the military are two professions with high standards and two of the most honorable and noble professions that there are. In the King James Bible, John 15, verse 13, it states, "There's no greater love and dedication than this, that you would lay down your life for the sake of another." Ladies and gentlemen, that is a huge undertaking. I promise you that I will pray every night that none of you will ever have to put yourself in that position. So again, congratulations to you. We're awfully proud of you. Your families are proud of you, and we can't wait to get you out there. God bless you all.
I would like to ask Officer Bierman to step forward and call roll for the presentation of certificates and badges by Chief Kenneth Gregory and Captain Jerry Kelly. If you are presenting a badge or certificate, please make your way to my right of the stage. I ask that you hold your applause until all the certificates have been issued.
Police Officer Michael Calhoun, Crestwood Police Department. His certificate will be presented by Chief Jonathan Williams, Crestwood Police Department. Police Officer Thomas Carter, St. Louis County Police Department. Police Officer Charles Cole, St. Louis County Police Department. Police Officer Matthew Conaway, Richmond Police Department. His certificate will be presented by Chief Martin Side of the Richmond Police Department. Police Officer Justin Dean, St. Louis County. His certificate will be presented by his father, Sergeant Robert Dean, of St. Louis County. Police Officer Andrew Dexter, St. Louis County Police Department. Police Officer Keaton Fogler, Clayton Police Department. His certificate will be presented by Captain Al Hewitt of the Clayton Police Department. Police Officer Zachary George, St. Louis County Police Department. Police Officer William Heinberger, St. Louis County Police Department. His certificate will be presented by his father, retired Sergeant Robert Heinberger, St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department. Police Officer Joshua Hewitt, St. Louis County Police Department. Police Officer Kurt Holderly, St. Louis County Police Department. His certificate will be presented by his name, Retired Sergeant Nicole Schroeder, St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department. Police Officer Alejandro Infante, St. Louis County Police Department. Police Officer Dustin D. Miller, St. Louis County Police Department. Police Officer Brendan Lightfoot, St. Louis County Police Department. Police Officer Anthony Passanati, St. Louis County Police Department. Police Officer Gavin Pottis, St. Louis County Police Department. Police Officer Seth Richardson, University City Police Department. His certificate certificate will be presented by Captain Fred Clemens of the University City Police Department. Police Officer Stephen Rome, St. Louis County Police Department. His certificate will be presented by his father-in-law, retired Special Agent from the FBI, Matthew Rome. Police Officer Sammer Salman, St. Louis County Police Department. Police Officer Rebecca Sponholz, St. Louis County. Her certificate will be presented by her boyfriend, Staff Sergeant Richard Jacobs, United States Army. Police Officer Naomi Stone, University City Police Department. Her certificate will be presented by her brother, Police Officer Justin Donaldson, University City Police Department. Police Officer John Strode, Woodson Terrace Police Department. His certificate will be presented by Captain Brett Carbray, Woodson Terrace Police Department. Police Officer James Trice, St. Louis. Police Officer Brian Weathers, St. Louis County Police Department. Police Officer Ryan Wilson, St. Louis County Police Department. His certificate will be presented by retired Sergeant Salvatore Chinese, his grandfather. Hamilton Township Police Department. At this time, I would like to present the police officers of graduating class 204. As class supervisor, I have the privilege of recognizing those members of Class 204 who have achieved outstanding individual performances during their 25 weeks of training. Members of each academy class compete for top honors in 5 categories. Categories are scholastic average, firearms, defensive tactics, physical training, and best overall recruit. Would St. Louis County Police Officer Thomas Carter please stand? Officer Carter is receiving a certificate tonight for being best overall in physical training. Physical training final exam consists of sit-ups, push-ups, and a 1.5-mile run. During the final exam, Officer Carter finished with the highest average of the class. Congratulations, TJ. Would St. Louis County Police Officer Dustin Niemiller please stand? Officer Niemiller is receiving a certificate tonight for having the highest academic average. During the 25 weeks of training, each recruit is tested on 12 academic blocks of instruction, each with a possible score of 100%. Officer Niemiller completed the training with an outstanding 96% average. Congratulations, sir. Would St. Louis County Police Officer Charles Coleman please stand? Officer Coleman is receiving a certificate tonight for achieving the highest overall score in firearms training. Each recruit receives 101 hours of firearms training. At the end of that training, the recruit must pass a qualification course. In addition, each recruit must pass 2 combat courses, a night fire course, an off-duty weapon course, and a shotgun course. Officer Coleman's total score for all of these courses was the highest in the class. Congratulations, Officer. Would St. Louis County Police Officer Kurt Holderly please stand? Officer Holderly is receiving a certificate tonight for being the best overall in defensive tactics. During the academy training, each recruit is given 78 hours of instruction in defensive tactics. At the end of this block of instruction, all recruits must pass a written and practical exam. Officer Holderly completed the training with a score of 100%. Would St. Louis County Police Officer Rebecca Spanoles please stand? Officer Spanoles will be receiving an award for being the best overall recruit of Class 204. The Best Overall Recruit Award is the most coveted award given by the Academy. The award is determined by combining the results of all 4 categories mentioned above: scholastic average, physical training, firearms, and defensive tactics. Officer Spanoles scored high in all of these areas and has earned the honor of being Best Overall Officer for the class. Her name will be added to a plaque listing previous winners and will be displayed proudly outside the Sergeant Richard E. Weinel Memorial Classroom. Congratulations.
Good evening. I'm Amy Younger. I'm not the class supervisor, but my dear friend Dan has a really hard time getting through this speech, and there's a basketball game on. So I'm going to read exactly what he wrote for you. Good evening. My name is Dan Bierman, and I had the privilege of being the class supervisor for recruit class 204. 6 months ago, 38 civilians walked into the academy not knowing what the next 25 weeks of their lives would entail. You quickly came to the realization this was not going to be easy. The academy would not be like any other job you had done before. There were rules and procedures for everything you did, and there were consequences for not following them. But I assure you, you are now stronger both physically and mentally than you were before you started. 25 weeks ago, I saw strangers sitting in a room too scared to say anything. Over the weeks and months, I've seen you come together as a cohesive unit. I've seen you at your worst, and I've seen you at your best. I've seen you in the boxing ring with each other and laugh with each other. Today, I see you all as new members of the police family. It is a very difficult task transforming civilians into police officers. 38 recruits started this journey, and only 25 will be here today at graduation. You endured countless hours of classroom lectures, a tremendous amount of studying, physical training, defensive tactics, firearms training, and numerous final exams. This was not accomplished by you alone. Your family was also there supporting you every step of the way. Always remember, your family was with you before this journey began, and they are here with you now, and they will always be with you. Do not let this job consume you. Always make time for your family and friends, because they are the reason why you want to come home safely at the end of your shifts. Class 204, please know that my fellow instructors and I are passionate about your training. We want each of you to succeed and to leave the academy as well prepared as we can possibly make you. However, your learning has just begun. Listen to your field trainers, learn from other officers, and don't forget that you can learn something from every person you encounter. I don't want you to ever forget that the public remembers their interactions with you, no matter how insignificant they may seem to you at the time. Always do your best and always treat others with dignity and respect, even though sometimes it may be difficult. You have chosen an honorable and noble profession, and as I have told you on the first day and on numerous other days after that, this is the greatest profession in the world. But you are human, and you are going to make mistakes. Don't let those mistakes define you. Learn from your actions and improve. Serve your community with pride and represent your profession well, for it's not just your own reputation that you risk tarnishing, but it's the reputation of all of us. When people look at you, they don't see an individual. They see a representative of all police officers. Trust your instincts and your intuitions. I care about all of you, and I want you to be safe. If something doesn't feel right, reevaluate the situation. Don't allow yourself to become complacent, and always watch out for your fellow officers. I have told you that one of the greatest compliments an officer can receive is to be given, I have been told that one of the greatest compliments an officer can be given is to be the person other officers want backing them up. Always be aware of your surroundings and trust your training. God bless all of you for having the courage to take this oath and become law enforcement officers. Times have changed, and this isn't an easy job, but our responsibility hasn't changed. Be firm, but be fair. Class 204, on behalf of myself, Officer Moore, and the entire Academy staff, congratulations and good luck in what we hope is a very long and successful police career.
Would everyone please rise for the Benediction by Byron Washington.
Let us bow our heads. Lord, we thank you for this time together this evening. We leave here inspired with a duty to serve, no matter what role it may be. We leave here with hope that these brave men and women would willingly stand as a barrier between us and danger. We ask your blessings upon these graduates tonight and every day as they assume the role of police officer. Let their sense of service to others grow in their hearts and be their only motivation as they carry out their duties. Bless them and keep them under the shadow of your protective wing. Help us all to leave here with an awareness of your divine presence, with the knowledge that you call each of us to serve one another, with the confidence that you will watch over each and every one of us. Help our graduates know the deep gratitude of so many of our fellow citizens who will benefit from their service and their protection. Bless all first responders and help them to return home safely when their tour of duty is over. Bless us and keep us safe as we return home from this gathering. Your blessings and your good graces descend upon us and remain upon us. At this time, I ask that you dismiss us from the ceremony, but never from your presence. These blessings we ask you in your holy name. Let everyone say amen. Amen.
Would everyone please remain standing as the police officers of Class 204 prepare for the retiring of the colors. Audience, you may be seated. This concludes our ceremony for this evening. Please remain seated until the platform party leaves and Class 204 is formally dismissed for the last time. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you.
Way over there. Right? There's like a guy right there.